guys, this is Mem Siswana from GS College in Standerton campus. Today I'll be conducting a lesson from food preparation, topic 2, whereby we'll be talking about the different types of soups, which is the cold soups as well as the hot soups. Okay, we start by washing our hands before we start preparing food. After that, we wipe the preparation area with hot water and detergent. Then we sanitize it using the sanitizer in order to remove all the bacteria that might be there. Then the first lesson, we will start with preparing the butternut squash soup. So in butternut soup, we'll prepare 2 types of soup. We'll have the puree soup as well as the cream soup. There is a difference between the cream soup as well as the puree. The difference is that when you prepare the puree, you start by cooking the main ingredient. The main ingredient, it can be the vegetables or it can be meat. Then after that, you put it in a blender. That is, it's a puree. Then when you prepare the cream soup, you cook your main ingredients. After that, you put it in a blender, then you add cream or the milk. So I'll start by preparing the puree soup. So I'll be having 2 onions, don't forget that when we prepare the vegetables, we use the color-coded chopping board, which is green. So I will dice the onions first. Now we're dicing the onions. Then, after that, I'll have 1 spoon of olive oil. I put it on the pot, and I'll place the pot on the hot stove. Then I'll add the onions on my hot oil. And reduce the heat. Then I do have garlic with me. The garlic, it adds flavor to the soup. It adds flavor to the soup. I'm chopping the chilies. Then I add it. You keep on stirring until the onion turns golden brown. Now the onion is golden brown. I add the butternut because we are preparing the butternut soup. You stir your butternut. After adding the butternut, we add the stock. What is a stock? A stock, it is a flavored liquid that we use when we prepare the when we prepare the soups, the sauces, as well as the stews. But we've got different types of stocks. We've got powdered stock, we've got beef stock, as well as liquid stock. For now, we'll be using the powdered stock. So how do we prepare the powdered stock? We mix the powdered stock with hot water. So that is my stock. Instead of using water, we use the stock so that it can have a better taste. I'm adding my stock into my butternut. Then I will allow it to simmer for 10 minutes. Then don't forget to clean as you go, because we are concerned about cross-contamination and health of our customers. So we need to make sure that our workstation is clean. I've got salt and pepper with me, so we use the salt and pepper to add the flavor into the soup. As I have said that we are concerned about the hygiene, so we need to make sure that each and every time we rinse our utensils as well as our equipment to make sure that they are clean, because we are trying to avoid the cross-contamination of bacteria. Then, as for the meantime, we are waiting for our butternut soup to simmer. I will start collecting the ingredients for the second soup, which is gazpacho. I said the gazpacho, it is the cold soup, which is originally from Spain. So I'll be collecting the ingredients for it. We are having the red onion. Number 2, we'll be using the garlic. 3, we'll be using the red pepper. Number 4, we'll be using the ripe tomatoes. Then we'll be having a slice of bread, tomato puree, vegetable stock, red wine vinegar, olive oil, Tabasco, the sugar, as well as the bay leaves. All right. As we'll be using the tomato, we all know that the vegetables, they carry soil, of which the soil can carry the bacteria. So we need to make sure that we rinse the vegetables before we use them. So now I'll be rinsing my tomato. Secondly, I'm rinsing the red pepper because we're trying to remove any soil particles that might be there. So these are my ingredients for preparing the gazpacho soup, of which gazpacho, it is the French term. Then, now my butternut soup, it's ready and it's cooked. It's cooked. Now my butternut is ready because it's soft. From here, I'll put it in the blender. All right, this is my blender. Then I'm putting my butternut. Now I'm blending my soup. Okay. Now I can see that my soup is ready. Then I will take it out and put it on my bowl, which means now this is the puree. We said a puree, it is a soup without cream. That means I've used the vegetables, I've cooked the vegetables until they are soft, then I've added the stock, then I blended the soup. So this is the puree soup. Then from there, I'll put it in my soup bowl. It's nice and tasty. Then after dishing, then we garnish the soup. This is the coriander that I'll be using for garnishing my butternut soup. There it is and ready. Then we've got the remaining one, which is the puree. From then, I'll be adding, this is the cream. I will add the cream into my butternut soup. Then after adding the cream into the butternut soup, it's no more a puree. Now it is a cream of butternut soup. There is a difference between the cream soup as well as the puree. What is the difference? The difference is when we prepare the puree, we only cook the main ingredients. The main ingredients, it can be vegetables, it can be meat. Then we cook them until they become soft. After that, we blend them. That is, it's a puree. So when we prepare the cream soup, then it's either you add cream into your puree or you add milk. So I've added cream into my butternut soup. Now it's a cream of butternut soup. So this is my soup bowl. So I will dish my cream of butternut soup. After dishing it, then we garnish. When we garnish, it's like you are decorating. Then I will garnish it with the cream to make it look appetizing. This is the cream of butternut soup. Then from here, I'll be preparing the cold soup. How do we prepare the cold soup? Number one, I said we'll be using vegetables already. I've washed my vegetables to remove any soil that might be there. So now I'll be dicing my vegetables. I'll start with the tomato. just roughly chop the tomato or roughly dice the tomato because we'll put it in the blender. So we'll be using 4 tomatoes. I roughly chop the tomato. Don't forget that when we chop the vegetables, we use the green cutting board in order to make sure that we don't cross-contaminate the bacteria. You roughly chop your vegetables. From there, I'll be cutting the red pepper. This is the red pepper. When we prepare the red pepper, we remove the seeds. Then I roughly chop the red pepper. Then after that, this is my red onion. I'll also roughly chop it. You first start by peeling the onion. Then I roughly chop the onion. done now with the vegetables. Then there is my crushed garlic. I'll use 1 teaspoon of crushed garlic. And also I'll prepare the stock. And this is my tomato puree that I'll be using. Then these are my vegetables. I've got tomato, I've got red pepper, as well as the red onion. Then I'll put them inside the blender. I've got my garlic, 1 teaspoon of garlic. Then this is the red wine vinegar. I will add 2 teaspoons of red wine vinegar. Don't forget that we are preparing the cold soup. Then this is the Tabasco. Then we'll add only 2 drops of Tabasco. Now I'm adding the tomato puree. Now I'll be preparing the stock. As I have said, that we've got different types of stocks. We've got the powdered stock, we've got the stock cubes, as well as the liquid stock. So now we'll be using the powdered stock. This is our stock. We mix the powdered stock with hot water. Then this is my stock. Then I'll put my stock in the blender. Then lastly, we've got olive oil. Only 1 teaspoon of olive oil. Then we blend them together. Now this is the Gazpacho soup. It's ready. It is a cold soup. All right, now the soup is ready. It is ready. Then this is a garnish. I garnish it using the coriander herbs. This is your Gazpacho soup, which is the cold soup originally from Spain. Now it's the end of our lesson. We've got the cream soup, we've got the puree, as well as the cold soup. I believe that now you'll be able to differentiate the different types of soups as well as the stocks, because we said we use the stock as the base. Instead of using liquid, we use the stock to add flavor. So we were using the powdered stock.